Hello friends, this is Scott, and like most of my days when I'm starting a new project, they begin at Home Depot. Here I am picking up approximately 85 retaining wall blocks, to the 12-inch blocks. It takes two loads. I don't want to overload my truck. These things are not the biggest blocks in the world, but they're fairly heavy. They're $258 a piece, or if you buy a bunch, $232. Now I will be buying a bunch, but just not enough for this. I won't need that many for this project. First step is I got to carry all these blocks into the backyard. But there's an overview of where I'm putting in a new strawberry bed. And I got to build a retaining wall because there's a little bit of a slope. Now this is not a how to build a retaining wall. This is only going to be a 4-level block wall. I'm not going to bring in a bunch of rock and gravel because I don't want to add that to my planting bed area because as I change things frequently. But these blocks are big enough and heavy enough and only holding back a little bit of dirt. I don't think there's going to be much upheaval or much movement. But the first step in building any wall, normally again I would put gravel and sand, but I'm just leveling these off and seeing what shape I want to do, and then I'm just basically just stacking the block. And I had to cut 2 blocks for little half pieces on the ends, but other than that they're just as simple as stacking them on here. This whole wall only took me approximately maybe an hour and a half to build, not counting the travel time to pick up materials. But it's a really quick project, and if there is ever any movement in the future of this wall, I can easily fix it and tear it down and rebuild it in just a couple of hours. So not a big deal, but I don't want to bring in all that rock and other material into my planting beds. Now here's the reason why I want to build a new strawberry bed. Here's where the strawberries have been for the past 3 years. They're ground level with my espalier apple trees. The roots of the trees are sucking up most of the organic matter out of this bed. Strawberries are fairly shallow rooted, but they still are getting, the organic matter is getting used up. It's keeping it really hard. This is a full sun area. It's really hard to keep them moist, and the ground in the topsoil is very shallow. So it's time that I dig these up, and it's good to move your strawberries around anyway because they need to be thinned. But I'm going to move these, dig these up, and I'm going to put them in the new raised bed when it's completed. Now this is what I want the strawberry bed to look like after I've transplanted it. So by the middle of April, I want it to look like this. So to get this done, I've got to get the bed prepared and get some soil in this bed. Now where am I going to get all this soil? Well, on the lower level, because I'm going to be bringing in quite a bit, I'm going to bring the chicken yard, the most uncompleted compost, unfinished compost that I have. I'm going to dig the dirt up with some compost. Then for the second layer, I'm going to go to I'm going to put a pond in the future, and I'm going to take a little bit of soil here. I don't know how big my pond's going to be yet, so I don't know how much material I'm actually going to pull out of here, but it's right in front of the bamboo, and it should be a good place for just a little tiny water feature pond, nothing fancy. And then the top coating, or the top level of soil, I'm going to use what I used in my potato bins last year, was the chicken run that was composted, the material that I used to fill up the bins. It was a little too hot last year, but right now it's perfect. So first step, got to start digging in the chicken yard. And I've got plenty of friends here that are going to enjoy this process. Right here is where I dump a lot of the water out of the house, and so there's a little bit of a funky smell here. It's a little anaerobic, but there's worms in here, and the chickens are definitely enjoying this dig. It's also a good cleanliness thing for the coop. It's good to turn the material over, get rid of some of it. Also, as you see, as I'm digging here, I'm surprised I didn't hit my head on the little ledge of my coop, but as I pile organic matter in here, and it just keeps getting taller and taller, and I'm not getting any shorter, at least only a little bit in my old age. So I keep hitting my head, so I got to dig that out. But I got to carry everything by 5-gallon buckets. Got to get the chickens out of the way. I don't want them in the garden at this point because I'm starting to clean the yard up. But I'm just carrying them over, and I'm going to dump them into the bottom layer of the new wall construction that I'm going to do here. You see, I changed from a different shirt to different sweatshirt. I was getting hot and cold today because there's supposed to be a storm coming in, and I was really surprised actually that I was able to get out here today and get this dirt moved. But the storm was delayed, and so I was able to come out here and work for several hours getting this done. As the strawberries are going to be in this bed for hopefully maybe 5 years, I want to make sure that I put plenty of organic matter in here. I want it to be good and moist. I want to have tons of fertility, and then I'm going to mulch it heavily also. So I'm going to leave a little bit of headroom. Now here's my new chick. This is called an emerald gem, I believe. One of my real estate clients was getting rid of her chickens, and she saved this one for me. And this is really a pretty bird. I've never had one of these varieties before, but it looks like she's digging to China today. I think she just saw me digging, so she wanted to copy what I was doing. Now here's a look at the carnage after I dug quite a bit of material out of here. I'm putting in other retaining walls. I need more dirt in the future, so I'm going to keep removing dirt from here, and then I need to create a system that I'm a flow with my material in here. I'm not doing a really good job with that, getting a system in here. I watch a channel called Edible Acres, and the guy brings in tons of compost, and he does a much better job. Here I am digging the second layer, which is at the pond, the new pond location. Again, it's going to be very simple. Oh, I can't seem to keep a bucket up. Let's see what I can do here. Pick it up again, and maybe I'll do better. But I'm not sure exactly how much dirt to take from here, because again, I haven't bought the container. I was going to get just some of the the pond liner, but I think I'll just get one of the already pre-made plastic casted ponds, because all I want here is a little bit of a pond. I want a few water plants. I want a couple bubblers in here and maybe a few fish. I want to use this as a liquid fertilizer source. So I want to be able to suck the bottom of this pond out, and there we go again. So I think I'm about done with trying to remove dirt from here. I'm not being very successful, but I want to have liquid fertilizer so that I can always give the plants a little bit of a fertility boost, and what better than a little fish pond to give you that. There's not much better fertilizer than fish emulsion. Here I am digging the good stuff. Now this was all the material that I put in the potato bins last year. It was a little too hot for the potatoes, but this year, look at it. It's just beautiful. So I'm going to use this for the very top layer to plant the strawberries in and get them established. Very loose, very fluffy, great composted soil. I wish it would have worked a little bit better with the potatoes, but I just don't think the material was broken down enough last year. But it's perfect for this year, so the strawberries should get a good start with this material. So I'm going to fill the whole entire planting area with material from this bed. Here's a look at how much dirt I removed. Again, we'll be building a retaining wall in here and bringing in new soils. But sometimes you have to use and move stuff around. So I'm going to use this soil, and then I'll bring in other materials this year after I build the retaining wall here. Now here's how it looks, all full of good soil. Should be fertile with the chicken manure on the bottom, the pond dirt in the middle, and then the compost from the potato bins on top. I was going to do the planting in this video also, show the transplanting process, but didn't get to it. But it looked pretty, and it's going to add a lot of feature to the wall's going to look really pretty. But this is what happened today, so part 2 of the actual planting of the strawberry bed will have to come another day. Thanks for watching today and supporting my channel.